seeing the class with a lot of students inside at 6:30. That means 2.5 hours they are already in the bus. And every day. And morning they have to start maybe around 7 o'clock. Get up at 5 o'clock. It's a very tough thing here. And that's how they spend their preparing your CV and answering some of the questions. We may sometimes touch upon in our own way some of those questions and the importance of writing a good professional CV. All those things I will take you through your presentation very quickly. And if you have any answers, it's just confirmation, reconfirmation of what you have already learned. Okay? So there won't be some new things here. If you want to ask questions, always stop me during the first session, and Pradeep will be joining in the afternoon session. Okay, you can stop me at any moment. You have to ask questions. Asking questions is very important. And tomorrow, day after tomorrow, in a week's time, you are going to attend interviews. Yeah? People will be coming from companies, and then if you don't speak, that's what usually we always advocate, that a classroom has to be always very noisy. A classroom has to be always, there has to be always a dialogue in the classroom. People will be all the time talking. But the traditional notion of a good classroom is pin drop silence. No? First year, pin drop silence. Second year, pin drop silence. Third year, pin drop silence. Fourth year, pin drop silence. TCS came for the interview, pin drop silence. If you develop this conversation and dialogue in the classroom from the first year itself. You don't need to be silent. And this is something that you have to nurture. I don't know whether this has happened in your 4-year career or 4-year existence here in KIET. I don't know how many of you have attended any session that I have conducted or Pradeep has conducted. Yeah, some of you were part of it. Yeah, so, and I'm glad that so many people have come and then talked about interviews and then CVs and all those things. Good. So you can talk in this session. You can raise your hands and ask a question, because if you want a confirmation of your query, of your question, of your doubt that you have in your mind, you have to ask questions. Okay? That you have got a lot of inputs on interview preparation. Let me ask you one question. And this question is the most important question. And this is the most important question any interviewer will ask. And this question, the answer to this question, decides your future. What is that question? Yes. How do you do that? If anyone wants to attempt, wants to try, tell about yourself. Who wants to try? Because you said that you have got a lot of information about, tell about yourself. How do you start your, tell about yourself? Anyone from this side? Take the initiative. Come on, make mistakes. You will learn from the mistakes. Come on. And after that, I will take you through the CV preparation and then some of the interesting things that we are going to discuss. Come on. Yeah, anyone from this side? Yeah, tell about yourself. You tell. Yeah. He was cursing at me. Why did I tell Mohanan that I have attended this session and that session? Yeah. You, what's your name? Suchitra. Suchitra, tell about. You want to come here? Come. That's it. Good way of starting. Okay. Tell about yourself. This is the job-winning question and job-winning answer. Suchitra, come here. Suchitra, how are you doing today? Good? So where are you from? Which part of Kakinada are you from?
Village near
30 kilometers. How do you travel every day? College transport. Okay. Fine. Great. Nice. Suchitra, I would like to know a little about yourself. Can you tell me about yourself? Making her a little comfortable. And this is the small talk. Suddenly, tell about yourself. My God. You are feeling really comfortable now? Okay. And then you don't have to face so many people when you are talking. Tell about yourself. Yeah, tell.
So, good morning everyone. I am Suchitra Padala from final year ECE student from KIET Group. And coming to my studies, I have completed my 10th standard in Sai Desa Vidyaniketan with a CCP of 10 points. And I have completed my intermediate in Narayana Junior College with a CCP of 10 points. And as of now, until 3-month semester, I have secured 7.69 CGPA. And coming to my skills, I used to practice coding, and I am a 5-star holder in HackerRank platform in Python. And also, I am currently working in SQL. I am a 2-star holder in SQL. And also, I have done few certifications related soft skills in TCS Ion Hub, which are related to interview preparations and resume etiquette and interviews etiquette. And also, my hobbies are listening to music and browsing in the internet related new technologies.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Sister, very good. Excellent. Let me ask you a question. What are the things that she did not speak about? Okay. Do you think that it's a good thing that you don't need to talk about your family at all? Okay. Then when do you speak? If Sujitra missed out that particular part, but good that you did not start with that. You started with something. I'll tell you the structure. You followed the structure to a large extent. Yeah. You said that you can talk about your family. When is that?
Like, for example, I am Nandiyavahini and my father's occupation, my father's name,
Okay.
my mother's occupation, my mother's name,
Okay.
and later on school studies.
Okay. So you can have the sequence of sequence anyway. So she said that immediately after her early education, she will start talking about her father, mother. Okay. Or another thing that you can always say is that you talked about, what did she first talk about? She talked about her name and early education, and that is exactly the way in which you have to start your introduction. Your name, early education, and then you talked about KIET and the present education. That when you are talking about tell about yourself, you have to follow the chronological order. And when you write a CV, you reverse the chronological order. Okay? And that is something that you have to remember. You know, if your tell about yourself question is properly answered, your CV is already written. There is nothing like one-page CV is what tell about yourself, an answer to tell about yourself question. That's why if this answer is very clear in your mind, your CV also will be reflected in the CV. Okay. So then she talked about your KIET, the present training that she is doing, and then what did she talk about? You don't. What is that you don't have? You don't have which experience? Work experience. You don't have work experience, but work experience in the place of work experience. What should you talk? The projects. The projects that you have done. Select 2 important projects. You must have done maybe 4 or 5 projects. So you cannot talk about all of them. So you can talk about 2 important projects that you have done. You think are very important, where you are the team leader or team member. Your role as in the project, and the platform that you have, whichever platform, and what is actually the outcome of the project. What did you do? And the outcome. Even in the resume, not the resume, the CV, you should also follow project name, role, platform, and output. 4 steps actually there. And you talk only about 2 projects because you don't have so much of space. Because your CV has to be 1 page. I will show you a CV written by one of my candidates in IIT. I did a program actually for, I used to do a lot of sessions for IIT Madras. I have an IIT boys resume. I'll show it on the screen, and where you can even put your logo. Can I tell you one thing? Your name is different, your parents are different, your education, your institutions are different, your qualifications are different, and the projects may be the same, but when you are writing, don't write the same series. When what's your name? Eh? Revati. Okay, Revati's resume. After 10 resume, Revati's resume looks exactly the same. It doesn't look very good. So try to create a little bit of variations in your CVs. We'll talk about that. How to do that, it's very difficult, but when you are coming for your interview, what are the things that you should avoid? And then you have to looking at is professional CV. We are going to grade you on a scale of 5, 0 to 5, on 8 parameters. Okay, and then we will share this particular what you call assessment sheet with the organization. the organization will share it with you. And then we will also mention areas of improvement. Fine? I don't know whether we will get time to do a second interview, but if we get time to do a second interview, we will definitely do that. But from tomorrow onwards, the interviews, every candidate will get half an hour, solid half an hour of questions and answers. Okay? So, another way of looking at or presenting your family, boys, listen properly. At least for once you have to listen for 3 hours, because next you are going and attending, take any chance. Okay, you have to be extremely. We are all from we spend all our life actually in the corporates, game. Okay. Another interesting way of you did a very good job of bringing your family. At the end, toward the end, you can say, it would be really unfair on my part if I don't mention the role of my parents in my professional career. My mother is my father is a teacher, and my mother is a housewife. Thank you. It will be a gross injustice if I don't mention my parents who inspired me all through my life, and then you are actually telling the contribution of your family and how you value your family. You can end your presentation or tell about yourself question by talking like this, or anyway. But don't. My only worry is when we talk about answers. My only worry, Pradeep, is that they will replicate the same thing.
No, I think Dr. made a very important point. Bring your parents in.
Thank you very much. Very good. Okay.
Bring your parents in as a value, not only a name.
Yeah.
I think it's a very important point. No company is going to give me a job because my mother's name is Shanti.
Yeah. So what? They will ask you.
If I can say that she is the inspiration or my father is the inspiration and an encourager, then the organization will pick up that if she works for this company, the parents are going to support it. So it's a very important point. Bring in your parents' name as a value, not only as a name. That's a very important. That I have the family support.
Yeah.
In my development process, in my career process, because one of the things that does go wrong is when, I take up a job and I have family problems. So if the company says you are now transferred to Hyderabad, I've got a problem. You transfer to Pune and they don't want to touch people like you. But if they know the family is supportive, then that is a huge thing. So don't bring only the name my father, bring it in as a value as Dr. Mohanan said. I think this is a very important point. Also to tell the organization that you are acknowledging something of great value. I think this is a very important.
And also in Indian society, our society, family is such a strong thing. Okay. And when you are appearing for an interview for an American company, they don't even listen to what you talk about your family. And that is not acceptable. Even on your resume, you don't mention actually anything about your family. That personal thing is not something that is expected. But Indian companies, we live in a society where we are very close-knit. Relationship is much more important than rules. Care is a very important word. If I don't do something for me, I will do it for her, or I will do it for him. And that's how we live in this country. So that's important. So don't worry, don't talk. If anybody says that you don't need to talk about your parent, of course you have to talk about it. And no tell about yourself question should end without the reference to your parents. Done? What is the first part of your tell about yourself? Name. Early education. Where are you from? I did my SSC and intermediate from this. It's very important. And so, sometimes you can say that I did my early education, maybe some of you must have done in Hyderabad, and later you came to Kakinada. Makes a lot of difference. Somebody who is born and brought up and studied in Hyderabad and then came, that is a very important information that I will be looking at. Early education, then KIET, and what are you doing right now? and your specializations, and then your work experience. You don't have work experience, projects, and you can also say a little if you want. I love for traveling and mountaineering, reading books. You can just mention that. And I also is part of a prestigious engineering organization, a club. You can, if you want, you can mention that. But you can definitely put all these things in your CV. And then after that, you can take your own time. 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, nobody will stop you when you talk about, when you answer the question, tell about yourself. Tell about yourself is a question which I will, with which I will test your communication, I will test your confidence, I will test your ability to answer questions, I will test your initiative. Every damn thing is tested there. So 50% of your interview is done if you give a very strong and powerful answer, a very, very relevant and a very, very effective answer to this question, tell about yourself. Everybody will ask this question. So far, you can ask. Of course, take this one.
Better to mention our hobbies or exact hobbies?
There is nothing wrong actually in mentioning. It's always nice actually if you get a question from. That is exactly the reason why you mention your hobbies. You mention your. Always expect a question from there, and then you can confidently answer this question. No? There is nothing wrong. See, don't worry about anything. Okay, there is nothing wrong in talking about your hobbies. Leave question. That is an escalation, no?
First of all, thank you very much for the question. I think it's a very relevant question. My first answer is there's nothing wrong in talking about your also show confidence. They say, I love reading books. That's to your second question. That the fear that if I say I like reading books, they will ask me what book have you read. Why not? Because it is only if I'm telling a lie that I read books, I'm in trouble. Never lie about your hobby. Be truthful. And if you like cooking, for example, why not? It's a creative activity. And what are they testing? They're testing your communication, your confidence, and your honesty. But if you say, my hobby is hobby, but the sequence. Where do I put it? That is number one. And number two, what Dr. Mohanan mentioned, escalation. And since I'm on the subject, I'll just take a minute. Escalation is every question will have a follow-up question, right? So if they say, what is your strength? And you say, sir, my strength is I'm very hardworking. One question, one answer. What do you think the second question will be?
That's it.
Number one, and the other important thing is your ability syllabus into an application. When you're working for the organization, are you going to work on your syllabus? No. So this readiness that, oh, her confidence, getting up and talking, her ability to give an answer, don't stop. You keep going forward.
Remember, we came as a team. be there with him. You will be prepared to speak frankly the facts on your resume. You know that you had a bitter fight with your previous manager and left the company. You say that, sir, I had a fight with my manager, and then he told me that you are not doing the work. I said that I am doing the work. I said that I don't want your job, and then I left. You will be, oh, my manager, he's an excellent manager. Oh, I love working with him. We had an excellent working relationship. Bullshit, nothing. You tell the truth, then you don't get the job. Paying special attention to candid assessment of the reason for leaving previous. No. You tell the truth, the whole truth, then it is gone. You cannot be all the time telling the whole truth. And that doesn't mean that you distort the facts. As Pradeep said, I'm not saying that there are certain things that you cannot. What are your strengths or weaknesses? You will tell your weakness or original actual weakness. We'll say that, we will always say people, you work on a weakness which you can work on, which you can improve. You don't talk about your weakness. Oh, I become very angry. So when you are dealing with your team members, you become angry, I don't want you. That is your actual, real behavior. You are hot-tempered. We'll say that I am hot-tempered. So Pradeep will definitely take you through that particular aspect of how do you, see somebody asks you a question on, tell about your weakness. What will you do? What is the answer? Yeah, tell me. Listen.
My weakness is straightforwardness.
Okay.
Speaking frankly in front of people, either it is wrong or right. So sometimes.
Straightforwardness is a strength, no?
No, sir. Sometimes it makes me lose friends. So it becomes as my weakness.
Okay. Fine. I can be too blunt sometimes. You know, straightforwardness can be a good quality. That is a strength. So you speak out whatever. You don't keep anything in my mind. So sometimes I will be too blunt, too straightforward. That which might sometimes, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that very nice and very realistic question. My answer is this. The important thing is to convert the weakness, if you think it's a weakness, into a lesson. There's my weakness, I think it's a little too straightforward, but what I've learned from that, that sometimes it may be useful, but sometimes it is not, and I'm working on it. So when you talk about your weakness, the important point to remember, of course, is what Dr. Mohanan said, never give a weakness that cannot be improved. Okay, give a weakness, it can be improved, number one. Number two, give the weakness where you have learned a lesson. There's nothing more professional for an organization to have a candidate who is willing to learn. Convert that into a lesson. So, people have told me that I'm little straightforward. And yes, it's got me into trouble, but I've learned the lesson.
Too straightforward to the point of being blunt. But then it becomes straightforward, yeah.
Yeah, and immediately after that, going to the lesson. That what I've learned is that I need to do something about that, but sometimes it is necessary. That is enough.
Yeah.
In other words, what I was saying, one other point before I hand it back, Dr. Mohanan, often you find that the interview session may become, when you get into 3 or 4 questions, that's when it might become a conversation or a dialogue. Therefore, and in which language will it happen? In which language? English. That is why, we keep saying, please come out of that shell. Don't do it. Come out, talk. And here, of course, in this class, don't be afraid to make a mistake. Don't be afraid. We learn from that mistake. Please don't do it. This is for you. And he's got a very nice phrase for this one, and I'll leave it to him to quote that about reading in the dream.
There's a very famous saying that we always do a lot of jugalbandi. Both of us had to do a lot of program together. That's why it's seamless track. Because we did a program last time of 2 batches of 40 days for Verizon for the business, a very big program called Business Leaders Program. So he gets into customer service and he gets into conflict management, I get into communication. So that smooth transition is working so well. Anyway, there's a very famous saying, it is always good to sweat in the training room. If you sweat in the training hall, you don't bleed in the battlefield.
So don't get worried.
Don't get worried. I'm just telling you, we are almost more than 1 hour 15 minutes into the program. And with me, you have another 1.5 hours. And of course, we will have a lot of time together individually. Ask your questions, clarify your doubts. You know, this is the opportunity, okay? I will also give you a lot of inputs. Great. So I'll take them through very quickly on your CV. Ask.
Previously, we have discussed about the self-introduction part. So I belongs to EC department, and if I am interested in foresight, but I'm going to a software company, I can give an answer of core industry, like I have a.
I got your answer. And you know, especially in this particular batch, you are from CEC, all of you are not from computer science. And one question they will definitely ask you is, in what way you are going to contribute? You are an EEC student, electronics and communication. That is the question that we are going to discuss. I just parked that question. We will, in detail, we are going to analyze that question. Okay? And I'm also going to show you a multiple choice. I'm going to show you 15 questions. And you have multiple choices A, B, and C. Let's see actually which one do you choose. And if you start choosing this particular answer, and I will share that multiple choice, that PPT also with you. But that will be a good exercise. And this particular question is covered. And if it is not covered, ask again.
Yeah, just make a note.
Make it note. Okay. I just wanted to give you some inputs on.
If you want to talk, we can go. Or come and talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is talking? Listen. Okay, fine.
Come and talk.
Once actually we start talking, you don't talk. Okay? Immediately.
Or you can
Fine. Look at this one. Highlights the relevant facts about you, your education, and your experience. Of course, you don't have experience, and you know it makes. Take it from me. I have looked at so many CVs. Okay, and the first time, you know, that's what we are talking about. We are talking about one college, engineering college, and Ram was showing. I don't want to mention actually which engineering college. He was showing the cafeteria. They're saying that so beautiful, so professional. And then I said that actually I was talking to Pradeep that if somebody walks in, I understand he came forward and then said, when I was my final year of my engineering, TCS came for interview, for campus interview. You know, there were 400 students, so they can't select all the 400 students. They have to eliminate. So they, the HR executives told us, all of us, to assemble in the seminar hall. Yes, like your seminar hall, 400 people assembled. And this guy asked, okay, I'm giving you half a minute, 30 seconds to all of you. You have to introduce yourself. Come forward. Everyone came forward. All of them have introduced themselves. At the end, he asked a question. How many of you have introduced yourself by saying, this is Mohanan? And out 270 people raised their hands, thinking that they have, okay, they are selecting us. And the HR guy has told them, all the 270 people can leave the seminar hall. And the rest is 230. And he told me, this boy told me, one among that 270 people was me. TCS was my dream company. And even today, I did not know, or I don't know why TCS, why I have not been selected in that campus interview drive. You know, the mistake that he has done is, this is Mohanan, this is a convention that this is a practice that we do when you are speaking on the phone. This is Mohanan here, Mohanan speaking, it's Mohanan speaking. When you are right in front, hey, my name is Mohanan, I am Mohanan. That is a convention. He told me, sir, I don't know, I want to know. I joined this program because I want to know why I was not selected. Just one simple thing. The introduction. Instead of saying, my name is Mohanan, this is Mohanan here, or myself Mohanan. Myself Mohanan is a grammatical issue. That people are not worried. Okay, fine, that's not correct. But can you imagine that reason for elimination or not getting a job can be different? Don't blurt out this resume instead of CV. You don't use this word resume. Sometimes it will go bad against you. I don't know, this crazy. I'm not saying that this is the right way of eliminating people. You lost some 200 or out of 270, 150 best candidates you have lost. But they don't have anything else. They have to eliminate. So anything can be the reason for not getting the job, okay? Where CV is used in academic and research-oriented jobs. A CV is of flexible length. A CV is the record of your academic accomplishments and credentials. And a resume is used in business, government, and other types of jobs. 1 page, 2 pages should be targeted to a particular job in a particular field. You are not writing a resume, you are writing a curriculum meeting. Okay? Done. Rules. Some of the rules. Relevant and clear and concise. You know, you make a lot of mistakes. I have seen people just without understanding understanding the meaning of a particular word. I remember sometimes ago when I was interviewing here or somewhere, and qualities, strengths, pessimistic. I asked him what is the meaning of pessimism. Pessimism is thinking very good, thinking good about people. That is not pessimism, my dear. That is optimism. You know, pick up words from somewhere without cross-checking. Don't use big words. Be very, very careful when you are using the words. And that one word itself is enough. Relevant, clear, and concise. We'll talk about that in a minute. No typing errors. See, proofreading will not help you. Instead of W-H-E-T-H-E-R, you wrote W-E-T-A-T-H-E-R. Proofreading will not help you. You should understand the difference between W-H-E-T-H-E-R and W-E-T-H-E-R. So, even if it is not highlighted, you should understand the writing your CV, it's always nice to give it to a person to proofread. You proofread first, and a person who is good in his or her language, give it to them and proofread it and correct it. No typing errors. It can, I remember once writing an email. They had a corporate vice president, because I was part of Wipro that time, and doing a lot of work actually for Wipro training and development department. And my very senior guy, corporate vice president, he is no more actually, and he was very, very close to Premji. And I wrote an email to him, my friend, word is actually friend. You know what happened? I missed that R, and it becomes field. My God, you know what is the meaning of field? My mother groaned, my father wept. The dangerous word I left. Helpless, naked, piping loud, like a fiend hit in a cloud. Very famous line from Blake. Fiend is a monster. Fiend is a rakshas. I called actually this senior vice president, instead of a friend, I called him fiend. One letter missed. I immediately understood actually a mistake, and then I wrote an email saying that. But if he also knows, maybe people will think that okay, fine, it's a mistake, but don't make those mistakes. Spelling mistakes. I'm just highlighting through these examples and illustrations.
Bad impression.
Yes, bad impression that it can create. And from you, and there is nothing mandatory on their parts to give you or you a job. They can just outrightly reject you. Citing this as a reason. No misspellings, I've already told you. No abbreviations. Abbreviations, elaborate if you are using abbreviations. Abbreviations like,
Especially nowadays in email, there are too many, like LOL, laugh out loud. There are too many abbreviations.
yeah, abbreviations.
MP, common, that kind of thing.
Applications like EC, SSC, second.
Yeah. So I don't think that there is any reason to use any of those abbreviations in your CV. And if you think that you are using an abbreviation, please elaborate. If it is technical, maybe some kind artificial intelligence, everybody knows actually AI. Within brackets you can write AI. But after you write AI, artificial intelligence, you don't need to write every time artificial intelligence and artificial intelligence. You can write AI. Because you've already elaborated. WYSM. WISM. What is it? What is the abbreviation? WYSM. Return the money. WYSM. When you see me. Who knows that? When you see me. WYSM. Abbreviations have to be shared between you and me. Organizations will have administration. When I was in Wipro, we used to usually use this phrase, pain area. And in another organization, I have used this pain area. He asked me, where is your pain? So they don't use pain. Some people, they don't understand. So some of those abbreviations and specific expressions, if you don't know the elaboration, don't use it. Okay? Yeah, don't tell a lie or a mistake. Yeah. Do not include any negative information or lie or none of those things. Should I have more than one version of my CV? One version of it. Did you get any information from people who are talking about your CV writing? Did they tell you that you can have more than one version of your CV? You can. You know, the type of the organization, what are the things that you have to do apart from your electronics and communication or computer science? What are the other things that you have done? Have you done any course in artificial intelligence, data science, machine learning? Some of the new things companies are looking for. So when some of these organizations are looking specifically for candidates with these kinds of technical information or these kinds of technical knowledge, you can position your CV, exactly like that. You can give importance to your technical knowledge or technical expertise and list them accordingly. You got my point? In all the organization, this particular organization is looking for a particular skill set, you can project it. So there is nothing wrong in having two or three versions of your CV. Understand actually when you are going for your interview, Accenture interview, your TCS interview, what kind of it is general skill set or anything specific, and if you have those specific skill sets, highlight those skill sets maybe as the first or second. What's my point? You can have so many different. When we write our resumes, we will have 2 or 3 resumes. One, training and development. Second, maybe in HR related issues. So if the company is asking for this particular skill set, highlight those things. That I leave it to you. But now you make your one CV. Later, if you think that you need to make some changes, you can make these changes and send it. There is nothing mandatory that you have to send the same CV to all organizations. Remember that. You can have a lot of flexibility. Agreed?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. You targeted CV. Let me ask you some questions. I don't know. I haven't seen your CVs. Camera. Can you come little this side, camera? Do you know sometimes there is an interesting, I'm getting into a little bit of language related issues. When you are highlighting your experiences, or he is unaware, keep the camera. So when you are talking about, let me first, I have seen so many resumes, so many PPT presentations, where people break the notion of parallel structure. Does anyone know what is actually what do I mean by parallel structure in writing? Anyone? Yes. Alignment in what way? Okay, I'll tell you. Design, that is the first one, bullet point. Completion of the project, something, you started with completion. And to ensure something, the third point. Moving from the third point. I'm just giving you an example. And if you're writing 3 or 4 bulleted points, you started the first thing with design. And how do you maintain your parallel structure? If this is design, this should be completed. And this should be ensured. And this should be moved. The moment actually you change from a noun, a verb to a noun, and to an infinitive, and to a gerund, these are all technical terms. ING forms are called gerunds. And this is a to infinitive, and this is a verb, and completion is a noun. You cannot change the grammatical function of words when you are writing something. If I am the interviewer, I will definitely say that this is not the right kind of a thing. Because we do a lot of work in design, technical writing, the whole life actually spent on writing. And when I did my PhD, the entire work was on language and literature. So worked a lot. So every time actually that comes to my mind, if something is wrong actually in the writing, I will catch them. But everybody is not like that, okay? People who are interviewing you, they don't even know actually the notion of parallel structure. I remember when I was working, we did a lot of work actually in the entire Europe. We have people who travel across the globe, okay? I lived in the Europe region for almost 10 years. Almost 10 years I spent in the I remember somebody when we were doing a program, and some slightly elderly people, they are obsessive about their language. You make a mistake in English, you immediately catch. And they even asked a question. No, there are a lot of people, engineers working in the UK, in the Europe region for large banking group. And they write very bad English. And what is the kind of education that you follow in India? See the kind of reflection. What will I say? Notion of parallel structure. Got my point? Of parallel. This is, it has to be parallel. The structure has to be parallel. If it is verb, it has to be verb. If it is noun, it has to be verb. Now, and you have, when you are writing it, bulleted points. Highlighting your project. What did you do in your project? All the highlighting should be in the form of, mostly in the form of verbs, not nouns. That's what this is also saying, and always try to use this. Organized, planned, supported, reported, described, led, communicated, created, initiated, edited, developed, sold, and directed, assisted, solved, analyzed, managed, and designed. These are the words that you have to use. Don't use any have used, is moving, is using, no. Start with a definite verb, and which is in the past. Got my point? And every time you are describing, you have to describe using these words, no nouns. Yeah? Critical categories could have everything but okay. But name, lab phone, address, telephone number, cell number, email address. These are the details actually you should have. This is the first thing. Where do you align your CV? Left, center, right. Better left. Okay? That's, see, centering is also sometimes, but it's always nice to have a left alignment. Put everything in the left. First information, piece of information, you know that the name, your address, city and state spell out very clearly, and your telephone number. Telephone, if you have now, there's only mobile number, you don't have a landline number, and your email address. These are the critical information in the resume. Address and mobile, and this, that is the format, either this one or this one. Okay, that is the first part of your CV. If you want, I will share it. I don't need. I will share it with you. I don't know whom I should. I can send it to you. Okay, not at all a problem.
I think maybe 4 or 5 people. We want to share things with you. Where should we send it?
Okay. You let me know in the afternoon when once you come back for. I can send it to you. I'll share it with you. I'll share it with Gopi sir. Right? I'll send it to him. So I'll send Gopi sir to send it to all the participants who are attending the agent organization. Career objective. Very, very great. Okay? Career objective is actually one line. You can even say software. To become a successful software engineer. Don't write to become a fantastic software engineer in a very, very big multinational company where my aspirations are no. Very, very precise. Just one line. Okay? This is your objective. And to obtain a position as an administrative assistant in a hospital setting, or to obtain a position as a software engineer in an upcoming company or in a reputed company. Employment is not education. Okay? Name, address, everything, then your career objective, and then education. Education, you see, list most recent education first. In the reverse chronological order. Yeah? What you are doing right now in KIET. And then you do that. Mention the date of completion, university and college name. And percentage only if first class. If you have a first class or a grade which is, otherwise you don't need to mention your percentage at all. And any academic honors, anything that you got, that you can put as part of your education. Or you can put as a separate thing achievements. Don't put it actually along with your education. Academic honors can be put as achievement, a separate section called achievement. Relevant coursework, this is for new graduates or current students. This lets the employer know which courses you have already completed. If you want, you can coursework. Don't put the coursework here. You know, you can actually, after educational qualification, let me tell you, after educational qualification, you put your projects, your project work. And then, we'll see actually. I'm giving it in the sequential order. Name, address, and then objective, and then education, and then, yeah, projects. Now, highlight your project, work experience. Instead of work experience, you put your projects. Project number 1, how do you write title of your project? Road, platform, abstract, yes, abstract, enough. Team member or team leader, what? And restrict yourself to 2 project works because you don't have too much of time. I don't want you to write a CD which is more than 1 page. And activities and hobbies, only if it is relevant to your job. If you think that it is very, see, for example, I have seen people who make adventurous travel, and there are sometimes, you know what happens in the interview panel. I have seen actually people who go to Ladakh, people who go to Himalayas. You know, there may be some people, and out of curiosity, they will ask this question. So you can activities. There's nothing wrong actually writing about your hobbies and activities. Very briefly, one very important hobby, and then you get academic honors. Academic honors first, and then hobby. Technology, you know, anything very specific technological skills if you want to highlight, apart from Java and all those things, anything in AI and machine learning and any of those things that you have learned recently, you can just put it. Yeah, hobbies and interests. Okay, what are the do's? 1 to 2 page, 1 page. Write in telegraphic style. What is telegraphic style? What is telegraphic style? Do you remember writing a telegram? In your lifetime, nobody would have written it. Too young. Telegraphic can mean sometimes very dangerous, and sometimes telegraphic means not too elaborate. I remember my friend Rajiv, he was doing his post-graduation in the University of Pune, and there's a beautiful park called Alice Park. And he was sitting there. In those days, there are no phones, mobile phones, and no money. All of us finish our scholarship in the first 15 days, and then start asking for money from people. Because you live like that, no? Scholars, he was sitting there, and one day, monkey bit him. Just sitting there, there are a lot of monkeys there. And he sent a telegram to his father, and when he is sending a telegram, he cannot write 15 words, because he does not have the money. Each word will cost you 5 rupees. So he has to reduce 15 to 5 words. And he wrote to his father, monkey bit, money sent. Father did not understand actually what happened. Where did the monkey come from? Where was he sitting? Why did the monkey bite him? These are all questions actually. There is no background.
And what is called money?
Money got 15 injections here. Those days, monkey bit. Otherwise, he will get into problems. And this is a telegraphic style which does not have a context. See, sometimes when we write, we become very painfully short but boringly long. These are the 2 language styles that Indians have. Sometimes money problem. Money problem. What is money problem? Giving money or taking money? Money problem, sir. Communication problem, sir. What is communication problem? Speaking, writing, reading. So this is a telegraphic style. But you have to go between telegraphic style and elaborate. Don't be too elaborate. So what is telegraphic style? Bulleted points. Design dash dash. Completed dash dash. One single, not too long. One line. Short. Font size without verbs, articles or connectives. That's the word CV at the top. The words resume or CV at the top is not required. Any statement begins with I or my? No. No, my, I. Always with design. Never say that we design, I design. No. I and we. Avoid. Picture of yourself, salary information. Yeah, picture of yourself. Let me small little picture there and then paste it on the CV now. But you can put your KIET College logo. You can. Okay, I'll show you the religion, church affiliation, preferences, salary information, all those things you are not going to write. Final test. Does your resume answer these questions? Does it clearly and quickly communicate to your employer that you can do the job? That is the case. First question. Do your strength come across? Very important. Your strengths, your affiliations, associations. Does everything support the job you are targeting? Everything that you have, for example, the computer skills, technical skills. Does everything support the job you are targeting? Should anything be removed? You have to read and reread, proofread so many times. Does it really sell your skills? That's it. An interview is nothing but selling yourself. You know that? In an interview, there is only one thing. There is only one thing. By crook or hook, you have to win. It is a psychological tennis game. Did you see actually Rafael or Roger Federer won on the line? And he will go ahead and fight with the umpire. For me, I need to get that point. I don't mind. There is no win-win here. There is only win. I will win. If I have to win, you have to lose. You don't need to do that. But for you, it's a psychological tennis game. You have to win the game. There is no win-win here. Okay? That should be the passion. That should be the spirit that we should exhibit. Now, can you answer all your questions based on your CV? That's a question that you have to, whether you have written there. Okay, and Pradeep was talking about escalation questions, lead questions, subsequent questions, actually the question which can lead from this to this. Okay, and one last thing, and it is, okay, that is in the interview that we will talk about. Any questions regarding the CV? We can give them a 10 minutes break. Okay, you do one thing, take a 10-minute, 15-minute break. Exactly, you have to come in before I, by my watch, it is, yeah, they present what you are doing. Then you started talking about your project. So then you talked about everything as a representative from TCS or Accenture. I will wonder, okay, so what? So your name is this, you are studying in KIET and you have done all these things. So what? What should I do for you? And you have to mention, and that's a very, very important point, how you and the organization can be a good match. Sir, madam is something that we have to use, okay, in our Indian interviews. Okay? And after you start working in an organization, sir culture disappears. I don't know, because a very strong sir culture here. You want it or not, actually you use it, no Pradeep? I think they will ask initially. You must use it.
Unless they tell you,
Yeah.
please call me.
Yeah.
They might do that. You don't assume that. Because you are in college, there are very senior people.
Yeah.
I think you give
change from sir to Mr. Rao or Mr. Reddy or Mr. Srinivas, it's a paradigm shift actually for me. It's a very difficult thing for the last 4 years, not 4 years, ever since you started your learning in schools and colleges, you're calling sirs now. So take some time, keep it, call sirs. So, sir, my education, my expertise in doing projects on AI, artificial intelligence, or on Java will be an excellent match, because I know through my research, I came to know that some of you know these are the platforms and the technology that you are using right now, and I hope that my expertise and my knowledge of doing these projects and then working on this particular platform will be immensely useful to the success of your organization. I established a link between you, my experience and my knowledge and my education to your company's requirement. And then it will be a gross injustice, it will be unfair if I don't talk about the contribution of my parents to my career so far, my mother and my father. Thank you, sir. Complete. Thank you, Sita. I really actually forgot the last link, and then your tell about yourself question is complete. Fine, let me very quickly take you through that CV that I talked about. Just look here. Name, surname, email ID, telephone, whatever telephone number, this one, and then immediately after that, here you have to write your objective. What is missing in this resume is objective. And this is Tom's. Tom's is the Management Studies, Department of Management Studies. Yeah, IIT Madras. This is the time that I have prepared them for a resume for. They are all people who have experience. In IIT, people come after 5 years experience working in Infosys and Satyam, because this guy has some Mahindra Satyam experience. We don't project touch. Come on now. So here objective, then education, then you talk. I'm not doing anything now. You're doing something. So, because you're close to the laptop. Then you don't talk about the experience. You don't talk about the experience. Industry exercise, no. Design, conducted, creation. Babu, who is the life and death? I told you now, if you spend in the training zone, you won't bleed in the battlefield. That's what you have to do. Just sweat for some time. You will get something out of it, yeah? Okay. You understood actually the structure? I want to show you a nice video on an interview. But if the projector is actually doing like this, I want to show some of this. Should we switch off and switch on? One of you can come and help me out in switching off and switching on? Yeah, come.
The lights will be
not the lights off the projector. We'll try that way. Make use of our time. A very, very interesting question. Her question was that we are all computer science, electronics and engineering students, and your domain is different. So you are applying for a software engineer and a software programmer job. So what do you think? What's your answer? What would be the answer? If some of you, okay, switch off these fans for some time. So you need that. Okay, so I have to use my. So what is your answer?
I belongs to EC department. So if I am going to a software industry, if I am interested in code side, can I give my self-introduction as my ambitions are like these code side of things. So due to certain things I am joining in a software industry. So I can give like that.
See, that then there is a problem with me. You know, suppose that you get a better offer in your domain. There is a possibility that that's something that you want to fulfill in your, the cherished need in your domain skills. So then I will say that I have to invest actually 1 or 2 years on you, and it is all very expensive kind of a thing. And then there is a possibility that you may leave the organization. No? So taking you is a risk, but instead I will take her because she wants to continue as a software engineer for at least for 5 years maybe. You don't need to talk about that. But if you start talking about your own interest in your domain and then you want to pursue your domain, that may be, but you can't tell it. So how do you wiggle out of the situation? You know, see, for example, I tell you, suppose, okay, well, you are electronics and engineering, you have a tremendous domain expertise. You know, what is Philips, Bosch, and what are the other companies in electronics and engineering? Big players. In a lot of Korean companies, and a lot of all these companies, Samsung and all these Korean companies, mobile, and they look for a lot of people who have domain expertise. Domain expertise is something that you gain out of 4 years of your hard work, and that is something which is going to help you throughout your career. Computer application, you know, learnability is an important thing. Today, you may be working on Java, and tomorrow you may be working on .NET, and day after tomorrow you may be working on AI. So you have to learn any of those things, no? But you have learned first working on Java, then .NET, and then AI. What is this? Learnability. And that is an important word. I am recruiting you to my organization not because you are a mechanical engineer, not because you are an electronics and communications engineer. And I am not looking at only computer engineers. I need a lot of engineers who have domain expertise because I have customers actually all over the world and who deal with electronics and engineering, and we develop applications, and for that we need domain knowledge. How beautifully you have lived. And you know, put that word learnability. I am a quick learner. I may have learned actually this application today, and I don't mind actually exposing myself to learning another language in another 3 months' time, sir. I can do that. And that's how you have to link it. And you should never ever say that my dream is actually to go for higher education and tech. And in another 2 years, I would like to go for MBA. And these are all maybe sometimes dreams, but you don't need to talk in an interview. And they will say that, okay, fine. So why should I invest that much of money if you are going to leave after 2 years? You got it? Always link it with electronic giants and your domain expertise and with the computer application. And who else is actually the best person to work on this particular project which you have on Philips? A company like Philips or Samsung, and with my domain expertise and plus my computer applications, my knowledge in computer application will be a good match. That is why researching the company is very important. Which company that you are working, and what are the client team, what are the clients actually this company is working with. And these clients include the electronics and communication issues, domain expertise. These are the little things actually, you have all this expertise. Absolutely.
The reverse question.
Yeah.
You are asking on the same point that Dr. Mohanan is making. Why you must research the company for the interview that you're going to, because often at the end of the interview, they can ask you a question like, would you like to ask us something about the company? Yeah. And when they ask that question, at that point you cannot scratch your head and say, sir, I'm sorry, I know nothing about your company. Then what are you doing? You must have some knowledge of which company you're going to, don't have to have detailed knowledge, but you must know what they do, where they are, when did they start, basic knowledge. And I think Dr. Mohanan is going to come to that, which I will not get into. You must have questions that you ask the organization. Yes, I'd like to know something about your company. And they say, wow, this person really wants to know and really has to touch. So it's very important to research. Don't go for a blind interview. What is blind interview? I'm just going for an interview. No, research the company. And today you have so many advantages with your Google search or whatever it is, you can get any information about anybody. And when you go there and they find that you know something about the company, they will say, this candidate is very, very interested and she has done her homework. We like that attitude very much.
Yeah, we have also made a document of all these questions and the possible answers. A lot of questions we'll share it with you. Okay? And the solution, 4 things you need to know. And also some of the questions that we will talk about it. Okay, let me tell you. Yeah, the questions that you must ask the interviewer. First one, how does your organization differ from your competitors? What are the company's plans for the future growth? Don't worry, I will give you this document. No, this is for you. What will I do? I'm not going to get a job. No, I will share everything with you. Can you prepare? And all the PPTs, the questions, everything. After the interview, mock interview sessions, we have to catch you there. Right? We don't disclose any of those things. The questions that we should ask, they should ask the company. You ask your questions, and after that, I'll give you. Otherwise, tomorrow they will ask the same questions. Okay, tomorrow we are going to give you a job. Okay. Anyway, hey, Babu, what? Where are you? Come. Come on. I can also speak. You have to read the answers. I will ask volunteers to come here and then read the answers, okay? And then you have to choose A, B or C. And again, this is also a test whether you get the job or not. First test you fail, miserably fail. All questions right. Read the questions here. Okay, the test is now we have 15 questions, okay? 15 or 14. It will come. Interview. Okay, first question is tell about yourself. You just have to select, okay? First question. Go read. You read. First option.
I was born in Chilikaluripeta. My father is a farmer and my mother is a housemaker. I have one sister and one younger brother. Elder sister is married. I went to the local high school and studied at Narayana Junior College. Then I joined KIET Women's because my MCET rank was high. I was in a poor family. Our future depends on me getting a dream job. I'm a sport. I have been selected as a leader once and I participated in all cultural events in the college. I went to Vizag to do my study project. I have made 2 paper presentations. I want to work in your company as it's a dream company for me.
Okay. Read the second one.
I was raised in a joint family of hardworking farmers with strong values. Seeing my good academic track record, developer, I was motivated to join engineering education with trust well in my family to do so. By participating in cultural and technical events in the past 3 years in time, I have developed excellent communication and interpersonal skills. My strength is my ability to organize and coordinate people. I have made use of these skills in my project work as well as NSS activities. In organization of both my technical and soft skills, I have been selected by my peers as a leader and by the management as single point of contact for the students. My immediate goal is to pursue a personal career in a reputed company such as yours. My long-term goal is to motivate many people and privileged students in our community.
Okay, thank you. And a lot of interesting information is here. You can pick up some of those things when you are making your own tell about yourself question. And the C is
I would be glad. I'd be glad to. Would you like to know about my personal life or my personal life, professional life? What would you like me to focus on?
okay. What will be your answer? What will be your answer? Answer is
B.
Let me check. 5 is definitely it's B. Okay. And if you compare the last one and the first one, both have to be eliminated. And sometimes actually in Indian context actually the 3 also. But this one, Pradeep, you want?
Yeah, I want to caution you. Look at that line. I have developed excellent communication skills. Now this is what you're going to tell them. And if your English communication is not excellent, it will not go down well. They can turn around and say, but you haven't. So my suggestion is, change that to events in the past years in Guide, I have had the opportunity to improve my communication skills. Don't use excellent. If it is, yes, certainly. If it is, certainly, and you can say, as you can see, sir, I'm so comfortable with the English language. But if it is not, then don't use excellent. Say that it has given me the opportunity to develop my communication and I'm still doing it. Because that's a claim. You know the meaning of a claim, C-L-A-I-M. I claim that I'm 6 feet tall. Will you accept it if I say I'm 6 feet tall? No, because I'm not. You can see it. So I cannot make a claim that I cannot substantiate. Okay. So don't say excellent. By all means say that I have developed excellent if I have. Otherwise say to improve my. In fact, you can make that into a value by saying it is because of time that even this much English I can speak. And I'm continuing to develop it. So that's just one word I thought I would caution you.
The only reason that we have presented all this information is you can select some of this information when you are writing your own tell about it. That this doesn't mean that you have to follow this particular pattern. You follow the, you can change. You get information. Whether it is absolutely correct, if you say that I have an excellent communications, but you can't exhibit that, it becomes a claim. You cannot legitimize. Legitimize it. Yeah. Okay. I'm just giving you the next question. And why our company? Why do you want to work in TCS? Okay. The first question answer is
I did some research and selected the companies I am not more interested in working for, and here is the top of my list. I conducted my research on the basis of company's reputation, product reliability and industry stability, as well as how current employees would rate working for the company. I work based on my goals and values are synced with the company's goals and values. I know that I would be good fit in this company's culture and thus I have a lot to contribute.
in your previous interview session, did you get questions and answers like this? Or some pointers, it doesn't matter. If you have got some of the answers, you can incorporate those answers also. And there's a lot of interesting stuff here. See, sometimes what happens is, when somebody is asking a question, how do we frame that answer? start? What will be the language that you have to use? This will give you certain guidelines. Okay?
This is a very normal question, believe me.
Yeah.
Why do you want to join our company? Very, very normal.
No, yeah, normal question. And you can 100% you can expect this question, yeah? And then that's why the research is very important, yeah. This is the first one, second one. Second.
I came to know that your company is coming for campus placements. The job is a perfect match for my skills and abilities. I see this as a real opportunity to find a challenge. I want to work for a company where I can grow and develop and be challenged. I am looking for a company with a solid record and industry standing, like yours. I know I would fit in here and be able to grow.
The third.
I have always been a fan of your company. I would really like to be able to say I work for this company. It is important to me that the company I work for have a good reputation and good products. I see this as a great opportunity for me to be with a top-notch company that I really feel good about as my dream company.
And all three of them are. What will be your answer? A, B, or C? How many of you say A? What about the others? B. What about the others? B. A is the answer, and B, some of the points from B you can take it. I came to know that your company is no, the job is a perfect match, so fine. The second one, fine. The first one is actually the best answer. What are your goals? First one. My goal.
My goal is to work for a company where I can grow and eventually become a project manager. I would like to lead a team of hand-picked people and have a major impact on the company. I am interested in a company that is forward-thinking and growth-oriented.
I want to work in a company that believes in cross-functional training. I think that is the best way to learn.
This is the best way to learn. Yeah.
That is the best way to learn and see the bigger picture in a company. Eventually, I hope to return to the college to earn an MBA. I think that it will broaden my knowledge so that one day I can own my one
Okay.
consultant company working nationally or internationally. I break up my goals into the short-term goals with the long-term goals in mind. Right now, I am looking for a position in a company with a solid track record. I want to contribute a team, bringing my skills to add to the team mix. Long-term goals will depend on the career path availability at the company. Ideally, I would like to improve my professionality at the
Yeah. What is your answer? C. Oh, you got it. You're getting the job, yeah? Good. See, you can select a lot of ideas from 3 also, not too much here. Sorry, not too much in the B section, but you see, this is something like a question bank. You know, you go through it and pick up something and make your own answer. That's why I have put so many ideas on A, B, and C, so that you can pick up things and then you can have your own answer. Not one answer. You are not going to give one answer to one question. That's the whole intention. Now you have a spread here. And what are your strengths?
My strength is with strong people skills. I love working with people and helping them solve problems.
Oh, I have had positive feedback from my classmates and managers regarding
the
same.
My strengths are a combination of my technical skills and my ability to work with people. I consider myself a data mining expert, but what makes me stand out from the competition
not something that I do well on. I know I could improve on my patience when working with people who don't work at the same place as I do. What I have found is that by helping members of the team who are having problems, I can move projects forward instead of being frustrated and doing nothing.
Yeah. Give it to that. Okay, boys, you're not contributing at all.
I am a person who likes to get the job done correctly. The first time I become very frustrated when other people's work affects my ability to do my job correctly. I have been working on trying to be more understanding and finding out what the problem is before I pass judgment.
And Dinesh is working too hard to get job done. Because of the workload, I have to work many evenings and weekends so that projects meet deadlines. I am trying to work smarter and not harder.
Look, what is your answer? When have you been most motivated? When do you get motivated? When? Yeah. When there is no interview classes, I have been motivated. Yeah. Listen.
I like solving problems and helping people. Sometimes it was difficult because people could get upset with me. I will try not to take it personally, but I will admit there were times when it was challenging. What motivated me was when they appreciated my help.
Last year
I was invited in a project that was very exciting. I was assigned to work with a team. I would wake up in the morning thinking of creative way to overcome our problems. The especially great part of the project was the team was working with the team and the creative problem solving are what make a difference in my motivation.
Yeah. Okay, last one.
I am very motivated all the times and feel really good about solving problems. I like the challenges of the new problems and the chance to think of it to solve problems. I am really unmotivated when all I have are prices of someone else's problems to clean up. I like solving a project from the beginning to the end.
Yeah. Which one is the answer? A, B or C? It all depends on what motivates you. Let me. B is the answer. And you can take some from A also, but B is the right answer, not the last one. Okay. How do you describe your personality? Yeah. I am a high energy person, but you speak with high energy.
I am a high energy person who is a hard worker. I am very quickly and adapt well. I am very responsible about deadlines. I have the ability to get along well with people.
Get along well with people. Yeah.
I have a very
Weak
attitude that helps keep everyone's morale up.
Yeah, everyone's morale up.
I have the ability to get along well with everyone.
Okay, good. How do you describe? And how do you describe yourself and what are your strengths are all related. And some of these things can, answers can help you in describing some other questions.
I am a very high person who is motivated by new challenges.
There is no very you are describing.
I am
adding about adjective. I am very high. Good. I want such contributions. I am a fantastic high energy. Add something like masala.
I am a high person who is motivated by new challenges and problems. I can hit this ground running and come up with the speed faster than everyone I know. I have proven record of success and reputation for the meeting deadlines on time. My attitude about work is what I want to takes to get the job done.
Yeah, very pragmatic. Next one.
I am a problem solver who is good
at analyzing the data and transforming it into useful information.
My strength is
My strength is my ability to convert the complex details into simple, understandable language. I have been able to save time and money by coming up with solutions.
Which one? C or A? You understood actually, I will send you this one. You have all the questions here. I can hear bro sound from here, kiki sound from here because that means you are bored. Correct it? You don't want to listen to all these different questions. And the importance of having this question is you can pick up points from each multiple choice and then prepare. This is for preparation for your final interview, not for tomorrow. Tomorrow's interview is mock interview and we will give you the inputs. But you can look at all these things, take 1 point, 2 points, and then you can elaborate. Yes, Pradeep.
Yeah, okay. This section that we just did, what is this section? It's a claim. I'm claiming. I'm this, I'm this, I'm that, I'm that. Now for each claim, you may have a question coming in. Or please prove it. So these, the more you talk about those strengths, the more of a trap. You know the meaning of the word trap? You're putting yourself into a trap. Why? Because you're giving your interviewer an opportunity of questioning you on each of these claims and each of these points. So when you go, you have to now select before you go, what claims should I make? And for each claim, you have to have a defense. Because chances are they're going to ask you, you are saying I'm all the time motivated? Well, please prove it. You are saying you're creative? Please prove it. So these could be traps. Unless you have planned and prepared and worked out your defense, because this gives an opportunity to the interviewer to ask you to substantiate and prove each of these points. Okay, that's what I wanted to say. And this is part of planning. We'll be looking at that after lunch when I take the session on what are the additional skills you have to have, not only for the interview, but for succeeding in your job. And one of the most important is planning. Okay, so we'll come to that later, but remember, these can be traps unless you have a defense for each of these claims you are making. These are claims, and they have to be substantial. Okay?
Yeah. So Erika, I'll share this one of the key questions, only 7 questions. I'll share it with you later. I'll just take you through very quickly. The next question is, what do you want to know about this company? And you have multiple choices here. And then, what do you value most in a teammate? Another question. These are all very tough questions. And then you will be looking for answers. And what are the most important things for you in a job? What is that you are looking for in a job? A, B, C. And you have multiple choices here. And how do you stay current and informed about latest industry? That's it. This is a very important question, okay? Let's look at this question. How do you keep yourself updated? Latest things. The first question, I do all them. Sit down. You don't need to get up.
I do all the standard things. I read the business section.
This is a very important question. How do you keep updated all the time? Because that is a very important question because technology is changing fast. And how do you keep up with these emerging technologies?
I do all the standard things. I read the business section of the newspaper daily. I research the internet for information on the industry. I attend a local networking organization and subscribe to an industry journal. I belong to a professional organization and attend monthly meetings to network and stay in touch. I really like what I do, and so it is interesting to me and learn and keep current with the ever-changing world we live in. I use the internet and check the news sites to see what is happening in the world. I don't get around to the newspaper, but I do subscribe to a weekly news magazine that keeps keeps me up to daily fairly well. I feel that I am more informed than the average person. There isn't much time left in a day after my long college hours. My busy life does not allow for much more than watching the evening news to catch up with the latest happenings. I always read newspapers and the bulletins to keep in touch with what's happening in the industry.
Yeah. And this is actually the truth, no? Will you say the truth? What will be your answer? That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
And the last one, the truth one is actually zero. That is actually happening. You don't have that much of time. Very good. Why should I hire you? That's again a classic question. Okay, read.
I can do this job. I know I can because I'm a quick learner. I have the ability to pick up things faster than most people can. I currently am taking classes to learn some of the computer programs I don't know. I can learn this job very fast and be useful almost immediately. I'm working for an opportunity to try something new. My strong technical and people skills are what I can bring to this job and company. I have an ability to read people and treat them as individuals in a way that most people can't. When I saw this opportunity, I knew that this way my job. This was. If you compare my qualifications with your requirements, you will see that I am almost a perfect match for this position. You are seeking someone with the skills I have, and in addition to that, I have excellent writing skills. I have the ability to work with people at all levels. If you were to ask my teachers and friends, they will tell you she's the one of a kind. She keeps the moral up, and
Moral, inner courage, inner strength,
moral up and work flowing.
What will be your answer? You don't need to frame the sentences exactly like this. You can pick up a lot of things from here. That's what I'm saying. And this is again a very important question. Why should I hire you? In what way it is going to be a match? And what is this one?
Do you have any questions?
Yeah. Do you have any questions about the company? Read that one. That's the last question. Yeah.
I would like to know about the employee benefits package. Apart from salary, what are all the things we are eligible for, like bonus, insurance, etc.?
And straight away.
I don't have any further questions at this time. I'm sure I will have more questions once I start the job.
Okay. So,
may I know some details on the career growth opportunities and performance appraisal systems in your esteemed organization?
Which one? And I think actually this is the best one. We should never go for, I would like to know about the employee benefits package apart from salary, where all things eligible for. I think that is something that you don't ask. I won't even give the 3 marks at all to that answer. I don't have any further question at this time, and both A and B have to be avoided, and then C. And then we will also give you a series of questions that you can ask the employer. Then about a time when, okay, fine, leave it. Okay, I'm just leaving it here. Okay, let's spend some time. We have been talking and I've told you that we another 5 minutes. Any questions that you want? Both of us are here. Let's spend some time on your, like you or India asked a question like that. Any questions that you would like to ask? Please. Ask. She has not a question. You can sit there and don't respect us too much now. We feel very.
Being as a fresher, we need to go what they assign you to work. Like the place like Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai.
Do you have any preferences actually about the geographical preferences?
Yes, sir. Place of work.
Okay. Place of work. What will be your answer?
Yes. So my answer is after getting experience, we can ask for them to give me this particular city. But being as a fresher, we can't do that such things.
Yeah, it's better actually not to ask for any geographical preferences in the beginning. You are all ready to go ahead and work anywhere in India, no? Anywhere in the world. No? You have a geographical preference. first to get the job. After that, tell your parents, I'm slowly, in 3 months time I will come back. If they don't allow me, I will resign and come back. Then within 3 months your parents are also, okay beta, no problem, we are managing without it. You have to give a little bit of time for them. You know, that these are emotions and sentiment. You have to build a bright career now. You see, I tell you one thing, if you have to achieve certain things, you have to sacrifice certain things.
What you have to understand, that talking about the problem of going to some of the cities before they compare with whatever, the problem is that some other candidate there to take that job. If you were the only candidate, then it is because there is no choice there. But because you understood, it's a very important one. You can use these personal handicaps only if you're the only candidate. But if you have competition and somebody else equally as good as you, with less problems have no problem. So don't use it. If you are that good, you are right ahead of everybody in all your parameters, then they might go. But if the other people who are prepared to take your job, don't use it.
Yeah. I don't think I think that will go against you.
Yeah.
But I have already told you it's a psychological tennis game. And here there is no lose or win, okay? There is only win. And if that is what you are going to do it, and then you have to, if you say that, okay, my parents won't be very open. But, these are all emotions, and then after your marriage, and then you go with your husband, and the parents also will come, Mama, Nana. I'm just giving you an. See, there are so many things in life actually. You are young people, now you feel so attached and all those things to your family. There are occasions when you have to get out of it. Slowly. Correct or not? Yes. So job. India. First get a job, then we'll decide. You take your parents along with you now. You come, you rent a house there. All those things actually will happen. Don't think too much. The only thing that you have to think now is getting a job. Okay? Rest actually will do. After getting a job, you can reject it now. So if you get a job, once you get a job, the kind of self-esteem, the respect for yourself. If I get this job, I have 3, offer letters. I can take anything I want. And then
don't make it difficult for them to say.
Okay?
Every time about your parents, you have pet dog, you have home, so you need that more difficult for them to be.
I know.
Why do you say that?
I know.
You have to sacrifice something.
Have to. But I know the kind of sacrifice I make for even a 4 or 5 day visit here, I have to leave a farm. I have 10 dogs there. 10 of them, they are my kids actually. When they go, I come out of this place, they don't even eat for 1 day. That is the kind of attachment, and that's why I sometimes say that I can't spend actually 4 or 5 days. I can spend maximum 3 days. And Pradeep is fortunately, but I'm telling you, you have to sacrifice certain things to achieve certain things.
And don't make it difficult for them.
Right? Get that. There are certain things actually you should know how to let go. And let go certain things. And that is also one way of making yourself very strong. Okay? And you have to move away from dependence to Pradeep's famous words, dependence to independence. That's one. Okay, any other question? Very interesting. Any other question? Any other problems? Problems of life, problems of job, any problems? Come on. Which is bothering you? Or any specific interview questions? Girls at the back are not talking at all. They are just listening. If I am asking some questions, girls here, no questions? Nice breeze actually coming from there. You are lucky, yeah. Nice, beautiful, fresh air. Yeah.
I'm saying after that, we'll reverse the seating order. look at the batch coming.
All the boys and girls at the back are going to be here. And these girls are anyway talking. Wherever they are, they will talk. But you come in forward, eh? You come and sit in the front.
But I think you don't want to lose your seat.
Okay. Any other question, boys? No questions? Something, some issues and then something that you want to ask? You told you, no? Yeah, give the mic to her. Yeah.
Sir, can I contact the language now in CV, sir?
Come again?
Can I contact the languages now? So, let's take an example. I know the languages Hindi, English, Oriya, Telugu. Can I contact these languages in CV?
Must do that.
Must do that.
Because, you know, they will say, here is the person who we can place in Orissa, we can place in Bengal, we can place in Punjab. You know, having multiple language abilities is an advantage.
Yes. No, absolutely. That's a very intelligent question. No, that's a very intelligent question.
I think, you know, 5 years later, she can be a project leader in Orissa, in Maharashtra. Must be a good question.
Excellent question. You know, there is, usually, even in the international resumes, I have seen if people who have the advantage of French, people who have the advantage because they can work in multilingual kind of a situation, because you have French. French is a very good second language. French, German, Europe and entire Europe. If you have 2 other languages, that will be a big plus point to get a good job.
These are national companies.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yeah.
These are national companies. Yes, if you have a company, they
Yes.
it's not an issue.
Please put it. Please put that into your resume. Your curriculum, CV. Yeah. If you have extra language, no, that will be a big advantage for you. Yes. Any other? Good. Because if you have such questions, now everyone will know about it. You have something to say. The moment I look at her, she is turning her. She is turning her. She is looking. Do you have a question? No. Girls? No question. Okay. Boys? Languages known can be. No questions at all? Okay. Okay, come. Connect the audio. Dress code. Yeah, the first question. Dress appropriately. Anyway, since when we will be talking about that, dress appearance, professionalism. Tomorrow, from tomorrow actually, what are we doing? I'm not. Yeah. Okay. Let's look at this video, then we will talk about it. Just check one second. professional CV. And if it is not professional CV, you will be getting, the grading is actually from 1 to 5. You know that 5 is excellent and 4 is 3.5 is average, and then anything below that is poor. And that is going to be a concern, and we will be rating it. And today, whatever time that you have, you work on your CV and then take a new printout. And tomorrow we will be looking at only 20 to 22 or 24 people, so you don't need to worry about that. Okay? So only 24 people have to do that, and then day after tomorrow, and then rest of the time, you will have enough time actually to work on your CV. That is one. Let me tell you. Second is how you are coming for your interview, especially the personal appearance. Appearance is very, very important. And boys, did you get any information about the dress, the grooming and dressing? Yeah, what are the things actually come out with reference to dressing? What will you do? What is that actually the dressing that you follow? Dress etiquette. Who wants to say? Who wants to talk about? Especially boys. Yeah. Sit down. Come. Listen, all of you boys. This is what we are going to do tomorrow.
So the dress code should be formal, and we have to do t-shirt.
It's yeah.
Wear blazer.
Okay. All of you have your blazers, and then you have. And what is the shirt that you will be wearing? And what will be the combination?
It should be plain.
So you are going to wear that. Yeah.
There should be no shades.
There should be no
shades.
Okay. What should be the simple dress code is we should always have a light colored shirt, maybe a light blue or a white shirt or any other light color, and then dark colored trousers. Yeah. Okay. Then blue, that will be the combination. It should not be the other way. Light colored trousers and then dark shirts. It is light shirt. Yeah, like Pradeep has ideally this. Yeah, maybe if you learn like this, I also have done that. And a full sleeve shirt. Yeah. And this is it. And anything else. Anything else that you have to do.
Same color belt and shoes.
Okay?
Same color belt and shoes.
The color of your belt should match the color of your shoes. Okay? Good. Good. Anything else? Anything else? The color of your trousers should match the color of your socks. The socks, if you are wearing actually a dark colored trousers, all the time the socks has to be always very, very, very careful not to wear a white socks with a black shoe, because white and black and white, it is used in certain industry like hospitality industry, and also nurses wear that. You have seen actually nurses, and in schools children wear that schools, and schools children and nurses, and in hospitality industry otherwise black socks and then black shoes, dark brown, any dark colored socks. Okay, it should not be white. And I have seen actually a lot of boys wearing white colored shirt, and it does not go very professional. Okay? And anything else? Anything else? Okay, belt and tie. Do you wear a tie? You know, just places, no tie. If you are wearing a tie and it should touch the buckle of your belt, should not be too short, it should not be too long. Okay? Should anything else that you can think about? Yeah? Vietnam. What are you saying actually? He is saying what is it called? Beard. Say that. What will you do with your beard? No. You can have a beard. Okay. Fine. What will you do? Clean shave? And with you know clean shave with 5 o'clock shadow? What is clean shave? Of course, with 5 o'clock shadow. Okay, leave it. You know, when you come, clean shave, or you can have a beard properly trimmed. It doesn't matter. It doesn't, no problems at all. You can have a beard. Anything else? Anything? What are you saying? With the beard. What is this? What else? What else? Hair. Which oil? Neil bring Adi? Which oil? Coconut? Which oil will you use? Eh? Which one? Which one will you use? Even for girls. You have to shampoo your hair and then don't use any of those exotic oils and all those things. Because even when you enter into an interview room, it's a closed, air-conditioned space, you have to be very careful. And instead of that, what will you do? You put a, what is that? What is it called? Body spray. There's a difference between deodorant and body spray. Deodorant is a body spray. Sometimes actually some of the body spray you use it actually on the clothes and then on the body. Yeah, it's very important. See, if you remember, I was always wondering if I put this body spray, I never get the smell. I asked my friend, hey, why do you want to wear this smell here? And he told me that when you do this, you don't get the smell, but I get the smell. Then suddenly I got this feeling, when I sweat also, I don't get the smell. It is the other, you emit actually this one to the other. You never get it. So, be very careful that the mix of sweat and spray, that would be a very strange Italian French perfume. That's again in a weather like this, you can't avoid it. But no problem, always. Tomorrow are you going to do that? We will smell it. We are going to sit there. You put a spray or not, we will be able to tell, because we get the smell, you don't get the smell. Okay, a body spray is good. Anything else? Shampoo your hair and not use some of those oil and all those things, because then, and we'll come to you, I'm not an expert, okay, I'll give you some inputs. Anything, boys? Grooming for boys? You trim your beard, eh? Trim your beard tomorrow. Don't come like, the one to another. There are how many bearding? Trim your beard, eh? Properly, or make a French beard or something. So, be presentable, doesn't matter whether you trim or not, be very presentable. Anything else, boys? That's it. So, tomorrow my expectation is this. Girls, leave all your first time actually all this uniform. You look everyone alike with your uniform. So tomorrow you get an opportunity to dress up in your traditional, not traditional, whatever dress. Now salwar is actually the dress that you are wearing is absolutely elegant. But you don't need to wear your uniform. And wear your any color, don't use too much. I don't think that you will use bright colors. Bright colors is always not very good, very good to, it's not very comfortable to the eyes. Light color, and with your, whatever that you are wearing, the same style, and not too much of jewelry. I don't think any one of you are not wearing any jewelry. This is absolutely perfect, okay? For, you don't need to wear your gold and all those things. No, you don't do that. Very simple, very professional. And what about your shoes? Usually sandals, you wear your sandals. I think that is acceptable in Indian kind of a tradition. You wear your sandals and very slight, nice sandals. And what is important here is when you walk in, you should carry that brightness. Carry that brightness when you walk in. Okay? So anything else for girls? For girls, actually, your dress, sari is fine, but sari is very good. Sari is very, I don't know, you learned how to wear a sari and all? You should start learning actually. When some occasion, sari is very elegant. Let me tell you, sari is very elegant. But sari is not a very professional cloth. Very uncomfortable, especially wearing it regularly. I remember when I was in Europe, some of those Europeans actually, when they, I had some friends, when they walk, they say that when Indian women walk along the street, they fly flags all around the street. sari. Because in India, European cities are very windy. And they will be struggling actually to carry and they fly flags, they said. And I have seen actually people when they are giving presentations and wearing sari, they look so elegant. But all the time they are worried about pallu. They are not worried about the presentation. And all of us are looking at it, what she is doing. Pallu. Nobody is listening to the presentation. I'm telling you, there is advantages of when you wear a salwar. You don't have the disadvantages of all those things. Same place, I'm telling you. Once you get the job, you wear all your pattu saris. There will be a lot of occasions. I've seen actually companies like Verizon, and they wear all these lovely saris and they look so elegant too. No, girls, women look so elegant in that's a traditional dress. But when it comes to working in organizations, it's a little difficult. Okay. So maybe why don't you try, some of you, all of you will be wearing salwar kameez now. Some of you wear some nice saris, so you will stand out in the interview. You want to try? No. Do you want to take any risk? No? Yes? Yes? You may something. I don't know. I don't know whether you want to do that or not. Anything else? Any questions? Are you okay? Are you open in wearing formal dress that usually like the pants and then the blazer and all? You can. A good talent show faculty, some of them, they wear always formal with blazer. Do you want to experiment? You can always do that. Yeah? People used to do this. And why don't you do that? I don't know. No, that's not a bad idea. Because nobody will tell you what dress that you should wear. But whatever dress that you should wear, it should be good and it should be, it should not be very jazzy. It should not be too colorful. There is absolutely nothing wrong if you wear that formal dress. What defines formal is not somebody else, okay? How you do it? You do it actually in a very nice way, and there is nothing actually for girls, and you always dress very well. And because you are all wearing your uniform, you have to wear your uniform. But when it comes to your own dress, you will have all your dresses piled in the almirah and at home because you will be always wearing your uniform here. So take some of the best dresses that wear. Be very natural. Be very natural. That's very important. Wear the most comfortable shoes and sandals that you wear every time, and then walk. And if you are not comfortable with your dress, with your shoes, then you don't feel comfortable answering the question. You have to physically feel very comfortable. That's it. Polish your shoes very well. Yeah. That's it. Tomorrow, and on your personal appearance also there is a grade. The personal grooming, there is a grade. On your communication and on your body language. And again, when you are walking, the gain, walk with straight head and looking into the eyes of the interviewer. And then the interviewer definitely gets up and then extends his hand. And that is the time that you have to shake the hand. And you don't know, this is the COVID time. And many people actually may not sometimes be interested in giving a shake hand. And if we say namaste, he also namaste. Don't try to hold his hand. And again, another thing, girls. Sometimes this is the problem is the little bit of a reservation. And if he extends a hand, you remember that Turkish lady went for a business discussion with an American guy, and Americans' handshake is everything for them, and extended the handshake, and she's a Turkish lady, and then other than her husband, she is not supposed to touch anyone, Muslim religion. So he extended the hand, and then it was hanging, he's not getting it, and finally, reluctantly she gave the hand. she lost the business. If you are not ready actually to shake hands, that means you are confident. I don't want to go ahead with that business. She lost the business because her reluctance actually to shake hands with him. That's what I'm saying. If there, in business there is no gender distinction. Man and women all gone. Come out of this is actually the women's your age. Modi was talking about two important forces. One is women and the other is youth. That doesn't mean that women are not young. Women both. I'm not saying, there's a confusion. Youth means both men and women. Youth, both men and women. And specifically, he was talking about Nari Shakti. That is what is going to define India in 2047. You will be here. Both of us actually, I don't know whether we will be here. I don't know. He is 10 years. You know how old is he? Guess? Because you can guess my age. So 7 years. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, wonderful. And I'm going to be here with you when Pradeep is doing his session, and then I'll keep butting in if it is required, and then we'll put all these documents to you and then send it to you. Okay? And then tomorrow and the next 4 days we will be here, and we will be meeting you individually, and then we'll give you individual feedback also. Any questions? Whether you have asked any of those questions, you don't want to ask now. In the afternoon, if you can ask, or maybe during the interview session also you can ask some of the questions. Don't leave any questions unasked and unanswered. Clarify all your doubts. That is the whole idea of all of us meeting today, and then also conducting these personal interviews, okay, mock interviews. And maybe our interviews will be much tougher than your actual original interview. Okay? So with that, Pradeep, you want to say something? Okay, anyway, afternoon we are meeting 1:30 sharp to 4 o'clock we will close. Sharp 1:30, all of you have to be here. Okay? Thank you very much once more.